So, welcome to week 4. This week we're going to talk about start selling, right? So, if you haven't watched the previous modules with week 3, 2, 1, etc., 0, then please go back and revisit those because these are super important to also rewatch, reanalyze, and obviously consume before you continue to start selling. So, welcome to week 4, starting to sell your offer without going through all the other weeks before. This one will not make sense. Enjoy. So before we start to sell, it's good to understand what you're selling and what you're trying to sell to, or who you're trying to sell to. Sorry, you have to understand the target audience you are speaking to, their pains, desires, and deepest problems they face. Right. So here are a few principles of sales: the authority, credibility, trust, know-how, and relatability. So the more authority a person has, the quicker someone is going to buy. The more credibility a person has, the quicker a person is going to buy. The more trust someone has in you, right, the person that they're buying from, the quicker they're going to buy. Same thing with the know-how and same thing with relatability. So it's really important that you do incorporate every single one of these points into what you do, into your page or somehow, right? Sharing who you are, sharing what you do, sharing a free program, sharing your vision, mission, etc., right? Like everything that creates the trust and creates the credibility. Usually, authority and credibility basically is created through results from prior people, for example, client interviews and stuff like that. If you want to make the easiest sale that you will ever make sure the person trusts you, knows what you're talking about, feels relatable to you, and sees you as an authority plus credible person, right? So, how do you create credibility and authority? Through testimonials, client interviews, reviews, through text and voice messages, results of yourself or others, right? Trustpilot or Google reviews. From there, you will be able to choose different tools to use for selling. For example, cold email marketing, hot email marketing, cold calling, outbounds, inbounds, referrals, and closing calls, right? So typically these are like the most important or like the common factors in sales, right? So you either sell through a call, you go there in person, you also do through email, whatever kind of the end goal is, but it's super important for you to kind of understand where you want to go with your own like selling, right? What's your end goal? Is it to sell someone on a certain package? What works better in that case or that scenario, right? It's super important that you do understand them less than yourself. So the best way to sell is to create some sort of point where all the value is stored. For example, a community, a website to host it on, an ebook, a document, whatever, right? So to create one spot and not have like there, right? Like have all this shit all over the place. Like you have to make sure that you have it in one place that people can join and join once and then that's it, right? So the best way to sell is to create some sort of point where all the value is stored. As I said, with a community, website to host it, or ebook. What I mean is, you have to get the data of these people: email, phone, full name. From there, they are yours because you can now use the data to market to them, market your products or services, right? So the cold email marketing and the hot email marketing is all done through collecting the data. So these are like the 3 things that you always need to collect from people who potentially want to buy from you, right? Then, tools. Through email marketing, you have tools like ConvertKit, Kajabi, Go High Level, SendGrid, Lemlist. For CRM, you have HubSpot, Go High Level, Trello, Airtable, and Basecamp. And for core/website hosting, you have ClickFunnels, Go High Level, Kajabi, WordPress, Teachable, right? These are like the most common factors. It's super important that you do understand kind of where certain software pieces come into play for you and at what certain stage. And obviously, if it's more applicable to you than other people and in your current stage that you're in with your business. So differences between platforms. So Twitter is more B2B. I've noticed this a lot, that there's a lot of like entrepreneurs and other people on Twitter that basically do a lot of B2B acquisition and less so B2C. So businesses are to consumer works to a certain extent here, same as on Facebook, but B2B will be leading, right? So the style people basically use on Twitter is to post, quote, text style content. Now Facebook I've also noticed that it's a lot more B2B, especially with like organic, right? Organic marketing, organic growth. There are a lot of coaches, entrepreneurs on Facebook, and of course a decent amount of consumers as well, although it's harder to reach them through, for example, stories and picture content platform, right? These are like the 2 things that Facebook is. Then we have LinkedIn. It's a very formal platform talking about your career, experiences, achievements. It's basically the hotspot for formal business people. They basically tell their stories, and it's also a lot of picture platform. So you will see like people posting themselves more often than, for example, something else, right? Then TikTok is a consumer platform. There are a lot of consumers on this platform that you can try to enter your landing page, or website or community with your content. So it's a short form content platform, which means that like the content you post is short form, which means anywhere between 15 to 60 seconds. Then Instagram is a consumer platform and business platform. Why I personally like Instagram so much is because there are more features on Instagram that people can access in a shorter amount of time. So for example, check out people's profiles, check out content, message people, etc. And I believe Instagram is a very all-in-one type of platform, so short form, medium form, content platform, also where you can obviously do the DMs, right? So I feel like Instagram, that is also one of the reasons why I chose for Instagram. It's just because of the amount of features that are available for this. So, cold versus hot DMs scripts, right? So, cold DMs, it's important to note that you have to be unique, suit the tone of voice that your audience speaks in, and don't come across as a robot but authentic. So, cold DMs necessarily mean where you send the first message through, for example, the DM to a certain person, right? So, these are a few opening messages you can use: yo, 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 and then insert your message. Hello, insert your message. Is this the best place to ask questions? This works really, really well, especially B2B. And hi there, the message, right? You can basically shift this and test this around according to what you see has the most open rates. It's very important that you do like track this to be able to reflect on it, as well as see what worked better and then change it around, right? So how many messages you send with message number 1, message number 2, message number 3, etc, etc, etc. So then hot DMs, it's important to know that you have to be trustworthy in the DMs and come across as a normal person. Here are some important pointers for the DMs. So for hot DMs is basically where people send a message to you first, which means they express interest in whatever you sell, do, or promote it on your story, right? So quality based on, for example, country and occupation. These are like the two main things, and also a bit of age, right? Then get them to the outcome as soon as you can. Don't have a long chat with them that takes ages. People want to get there fast, and you can have a chat on the phone call and really determine what kind of like your outcome is with the hot DMs, right? If you, for example, send a whole bunch of messages in the hot DMs, that isn't going to lead to the end goal super, super quick. Meanwhile, you're going to discuss the same thing on the end goal, for example, on a call, then it doesn't make sense. So you need to really shorten this cycle as much as you can. Then make sure the sales principles are shown as well, right? With authority, credibility, trust, know-how, and relatability, right? Let's see. Then make sure the sales principles are shown and understand what they are truly saying, right? Understand what people are truly saying. Goes a lot more deeper into appointment setting and psychology, which I will also make videos around in the future. But for now, it's really, really important that you do understand these 4 principles of hot DMs and then apply them to whatever you're selling, whatever you're doing. Then profile optimization, it's really, really important that your profile is optimized with answering their questions before they come up. Like, for example, who is this person? What do they do? How can they help me? What can I get out of it, right? It's all about them. It's really important to make the structure of your profile look very good. So choose your outcome. What I mean here is that you should try to put the sales into perspective. Where does this person go? Where does the person go through the funnel and end up, right? Or where does the person going through the funnel end up? My bad. So for example, a website, a call, DM, etc. Typically, people who book calls use the software Calendly, and they fill out with questions and cancel calls based on if they're not qualified or not, right? So let's say I make a Calendly form and I see that you are from, I don't know, let's say Africa, right? And you don't have a very like big income, and I sell a package of 5,000 euros on the phone, then it makes less sense for me to talk to someone who doesn't have like a really high budget for this, right? So typically, people who book calls use the software Calendly, and they let people fill out with questions and cancel calls based on if they're qualified or not. You can also redirect people after allowing them to book into a certain landing page where you display more information, for example. That's also something we've done. It's really important that you don't let any leads slip through the cracks because of your poor systems, right? So the systems are very, very important at the back end of, for example, your whole system with lead generation. Then there are plenty of businesses out there that let leads slip through the cracks and they're missing out on hundreds of thousands per year. Here's also a full Calendly tutorial how you can basically set this up. I'm not going to go through everything here, but it's really important to understand this. Create a Calendly account, how you can set up your hours, setting up events, right? It's pretty simple, straightforward. If you just mess around with it for a second, then it's completely fine. And you can basically just send and share the link with people through here. And typically it's really easy to do. You can also sync your Google Calendar to this, so it's also very nice to kind of see on a day-to-day basis what kind of calls you have and stuff like that. So how do you generate leads? You can basically do this with your Instagram theme page through your stories. You can use your stories to market your offer or the outcome you promise. You can do this by saying something like DM me X if you want to learn more about, etc., etc. Here's an example of a story I made. If you said, yes, we might have an opportunity for you. We have opened up a program where we will be teaching 3 individuals to making an extra 2 to 3K a month using Instagram. If you are this person, DM us the word create and we will get back to you with all the details, right? It's important that you really understand what the people you sell want. This is the combination of marketing and sales, right? So marketing and sales need to always be communicating with each other because the marketing is basically the front that drives the sales. And the sales is the back, what basically gives feedback to the marketing, right? Like, hey, marketing, we just saw that Sean here is a really, really good fit. He's more of this and this person. He really likes this, but he really disliked this story and it threw him off. So don't do these anymore, for example. Then your bio, you can structure your bio in a way to generate link clicks, people going to, for example, your website or to your DM or both. There are plenty of examples of this. So as you can see here, in the first line I have DM me now to learn and start your Instagram theme page, so people DM me, but I also have a free training explaining this below, right? Then here, highlights, as you saw above on my page, I generate leads through my highlights as well. I do this by displaying a few additional highlights like star, testimonials, learn more, results, my story, live, etc., right? You can see that here. It's very important that you stay and become unique here as well, right? Do not copy paste others because I've seen plenty of people just copy paste literally my content from my page and it's completely fine because it kind of shows me that I'm doing well. But at the end of the day, you don't want to do that. So caption, the caption you use can be different for different outcomes. Also in the way to structure them, for example, value caption, trust caption, before and after caption, controversial caption, etc. The most important thing to understand is the outcome you're trying to create. Here's an example of one of my personal brand captions I use versus a theme page caption. This is a personal brand caption, so it's been a long journey, blah, 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 right? This whole text. From there, I made my first 1K with my page, and not longer after 10K, I was blown away, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end, so if you're looking to make 2 to 5K a month from an Instagram theme page, message me X word, right? Then a theme page caption is, for example, want to learn how to make X, Y, and Z with Instagram, free program, link in the bio, right? Obviously, there's a bit more fillers to this, but this was basically just a lead generation part. So it isn't like a very long message. There's a big difference in the type of caption, but typically the outcomes are similar. So how do you sell people? The 3 R's, right? So resonate with them, tell them about your experience or someone else you know. By resonating to them, you create trust. This goes a lot deeper, but this is a simple explanation: what you do, who you are, what you've done, your story, etc., right? Resonating with people isn't super hard, but you have to keep it like very low key. You can't like where it kind of goes wrong is that people overcomplicate this. Then reciprocate is basically where you reciprocate what they basically said, right? You look at what they said and you respond accordingly. And then reply is obviously replying to them according to what they said before. But then using the, for example, resonation, resonating with them in a sense to reciprocate what they said in a personal way, in, for example, attaching it to one of your stories or a client's stories, or yeah, I like that here and here. For example, if someone says, yeah, I started my business in Amazon FBA. Oh, that's sick, man, that's sick. And how long have you been doing that for? Actually, one of my clients just started one as well, and he's been doing this, this, and this, or he basically does this, this, and this, right? Or do you do the same, right? Always ask a question back at the end. So everyone is human, and understanding that we are all the same, look at things the same, will allow you to keep the things simple. Don't use 100 different sales strategies and tactics to test out. Don't get me wrong here. Sales strategies and ways of framing things, etc., are still needed to understand how to get a person from A to B, right? But it never takes away the fact that they're all still human. You can have all the strategies in the world, but if they do not trust you, see you as a credibility or authority figure, resonate, relate, or like you, know how it works, so an understanding, they will not buy from you, ever. That's why in sales people call it nurturing. You need to nurture people over a period of time to be able to let them trust you, etc., etc. And all this stuff does not happen overnight. So sales is a pretty long-term game, if you ask me. Sales is simple, but people overcomplicate it. Here's a simple framework you can always use. Note, in between each phase, you need to have a personal filler, casual drops of information, or conversational messages to be able to gain trust throughout the convo or process to show that you guys are human and honest, right? So this is a chat framework I use myself as well from time to time. It's a very like short one. I didn't really like map it all out exactly, but it basically comes down to introduction phase, introduce who you are, what you do, etc., etc., etc. And keep this short but simple, but that they do know who you are. Maybe also drop your username in there. Then qualify phase, you can do this based on their country, their age, their occupation, etc., etc. Then know-how phase, you can kind of explain a bit more about what you do, what you help people with, but keep it casual as well. Don't like drop a whole bunch of information in their lap where they're like, whoa, like keep it casual. And then also respond to what they say in between, right? So each message in between, you need to have some personal fillers, drops of information, controversial messages, or just respond to questions they have. Then trust or credibility phase, you can basically add more trust and credibility by, for example, doing the reciprocating of the 3 E's, right? Dropping some of your client names, dropping a community they can join, something like that. But typically it's really, really depending on the conversation you have with the person as well. Then you have the pitch phase, right? At the end, you do the pitch. So for example, a call, a website, a sign up, whatever it is. But this is a super, super simple and very easy framework. And if you really nail this down based on your product market fit and understanding who you actually sell to, what they need and what problems they typically have, you will sell a lot, right? So I hope you enjoyed this video module. Below you will find a link to this exact whole sheet. So I hope you liked it, and I'll see you in the next one.